Hello, my name is Alana Dowder, Miss Alana or Miss Dowder to some. This is my short video explaining the lesson that I built after administering an IRI to one of my first grade reading students. The results were that she was struggling with vowel sounds, predominantly short vowel sounds. So I built a lesson to help her gain a better foundation for her reading fluency in with those sounds. To begin the lesson, we start our lessons on the carpet in a large group setting. We sang our vowel song. Our vowel song is something that we've been doing predominantly throughout the year, which is repetition for my student to help her get a better foundation for the sounds. By doing this over and over again, she'll begin to hear what the sounds are and recognize the CVC words that we use in the song. A brief portion of the song is, are you ready for the alphabet train? Choo-choo! Are you ready for the alphabet train? Choo-choo! Let me hear your vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U, and so on and so forth. We also added sign language with those sounds. The sign language, I feel, gets it into the body, it keeps student engaged, and we've been working on signs throughout the year as well. So an example of that would be, who knows the vowel A, short vowel A? What's the short vowel sound? So we would do the sign for A, and then we would do who knows short vowel A? Hat, cat, sat, mat. Hat, cat, sat, mat. And then we would go on with E, I, O, and U, and we do the same sort of thing. Again, the repetition helps my student with a better understanding of those sounds, and she'll begin to hear the sounds, recognize the words that she'll begin to see in her leveled reading, and it all goes together, and the repetition just helps it over and over and over again. I also used, on my board, I had our vowels and our vowel flashcards as a visual component to the song, so they would see the A, the E, the I, O, and U, as well as doing the sign and singing the words and repeating the CVC words over and over and over again. The next portion of the lesson was mirror work. And mirror work is another way to engage students. It's hands-on, it's interactive, and they use a mirror and they work with their partners to practice their vowel sounds. So they would sit in front of the mirror and they would realize that hat, cat, mat, it all has open mouth, let, set, that, and so on and so forth. It's fun for them because they get to look at their mouths in the mirror and their faces. And again, it's muscle memory. It's repetitive, it's over and over again. It's getting the sounds into their body, which really helped my student. I think would help her get a better foundation for hearing the short vowel sounds. The next component of the lesson is the read aloud. We've been reading in our big books, and each of the books has a short passage, and this week's short passage was the trip to the UK. The trip to the UK focused on vowel sounds, predominantly short vowel sounds, and I read the story first to my students. So we would go through the story in my big book. I would read the story so they hear the sounds to begin with, they see the pictures, and they understand what's going on. Then I'll ask a few reading questions to help get a better understanding if they seem to understand what the story is about or this short passage. And before I read that, I introduced the new words, the new vocabulary words. And the vocabulary words are short vowel words. Jet is one of the words, cab. So I used those words as well to show the short vowel sounds, and then gave examples of other words for those sounds so that they understood when they went back to read the story, they heard me read the story, they knew the new vocabulary words, and then they went back to their desks because they have their own readers as well, and they read the story independently and in pairs. So they really had a firm grasp of the story. They got to use the vowels a ton in the story, heard the vowels, saw the words, and that was great for my struggling vowel student. Then the next part of the lesson was they answered the worksheets for the trip to the UK in their workbooks. They did this in pairs. And then we would come together at the end of the lesson to talk about the reading questions, things they didn't understand. They would give me a better understanding, sort of formative assessment if they understood the story. But all of this working together, I think really helped her with her vowel sounds and got her a big, great foundation for her to move forward in her reading fluency. And then there's also, if they finished early, there was the short vowel dice game, Shake It, which they all have in their desks. They have lists of short vowel words, and dice which we've been playing all year, which is something to do independently if they finish early, which is another component of helping with the short vowel sounds. So I think all of these things working together really is a lesson built for someone who is a struggling vowel, short vowel reader, which I assessed after her IRI. So thank you very much, and have fun reading.